We're sitting down with head coach Jim Dapkus as the Lincoln baseball team enters its final weekend of the season. And Coach, before we start talking about Northwest Missouri, last Saturday was Senior Day, and your seniors went out in a big way. You had great effort from all four of those guys, and they won their last home game against Missouri Southern. Talk a little bit about how special it was for you to have that group go out of their home schedule as winners.
It's a great group of kids. You're talking about Cody Plasmeyer, a kid who has not played that much and has really been given a chance here maybe the last third of the season. Has done a very good job. He's gotten some big hits for us. He's a great center fielder. I know he has eligibility left, but he is so far ahead academically that he is going to graduate. He's going to move on and get the job and do all that kind of stuff. Kyle Hankey came through with a big grand slam against Missouri Southern. Taylor Klugman didn't have a win to show for it, but it just really his last 3 or 4 starts, he has just been on track in terms of keeping us in games. We just cannot score any runs for that kid. And then Missouri Southern put a little pressure on us one inning, making some really good bunts, and we kind of misplayed a couple balls, and that opened up that game. But he kept us in the game for a long time, and we could not get the big hit when we needed it to. And then Chris goes out there and basically shuts down a very good offensive team. He has pitched really good lately. It's good to see him win Pitcher of the Week. He's had a really good year on a team that has really kind of struggled both offensively and on the mound. Chris has been very steady for us all year.
Well, this weekend you're going to go up against Northwest Missouri, and at this point I'm sure you're starting to look ahead to next season. What's going to be your focus as you try and end the season strong?
We're at an interesting point. We have a lot of kids coming back. I mean, naming off the 4 guys that we are going to lose, Chris and Taylor have had big impacts on the mound, so we know we have to replace those 2 guys, and we also have to get a little bit more pitching depth. The conference schedule changes next year to where we're playing 3-game series on the weekend, but then we also have midweek games. So guys that throw on the weekend most likely aren't going to be able to bounce back on Tuesday throughout the season. So we've got to get more pitching depth. The offense has not worked out like we thought it would be. We thought we would have a really good contact lineup and be able to use our speed, and we've just really have struggled to hit the ball all year and get guys on base. We're playing better now, but obviously it's a little bit too late to save the season. So we've got to find some middle of the lineup kind of guys that can give us a little bit more punch in the lineup. I think we're dead last in extra base hits and batting average, and we're striking out a little bit too much. So there's some correctable problems. The nice thing is a lot of guys are getting a lot of playing time this year, and the old adage, you give them playing time at some point in their career, hopefully it pays off. And I think with all the experience they're getting with this group, will pay off next year, and then hopefully we can find some pieces to kind of fill the problems that we have and get to a much more of a competitive situation, because with the teams coming into the conference next year, this is already a competitive conference, and it's going to get tougher next year. So,
do you believe in the idea that if you end the season strong, it carries over into the next season?
No. So, not really, because we're going to have enough new guys that we're going to have a different look. Now, the nice thing is with some of these guys, the Caleb Kebnas and some guys that we really didn't know what we were going to get, they have developed confidence throughout the whole year that I know will pay off next year. But if we can go up to Northwest, and the one thing this team has not done, it has not quit. They have kept battling and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully we can go out there and make a good run at Northwest and finish the season on a good note, and then worry about the recruiting season, get that finished up, and then go into next fall. So.
Well, you already hit on this a little bit, but what are some things from this season that you can take and build off of for next season?
This is a great group of guys, and it has not shown win record-wise, but they've helped me out through a really rough year personally. There's been no problems with them academically. We've had the highest team GPA that we've had here, and all my seniors are on pace to graduate, if not this year, next year. There's a lot of positive things that we're doing. We just got to find a way to get a little bit more, I guess, increase the talent level enough to be able to compete against some of the top teams in the conference, and that's our job, with the recruiting season, to find those guys and piece them into some of the pieces that we already have, and like I said, hopefully make a little bit better of a run at this thing next year.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time.
Okay.